Today we're checking out the new Rode Wireless Pro. This is the wireless microphone that I think the majority of us have been waiting for. And you're looking at it right here, magnetized to my chest. We have 32-bit float, we have time code, we have intelligent gain assist. We have an included charging case now, which I think has taken over DJI as my new favorite charging case. Think so. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Number one, let's just start with the best feature on the deck, which is 32-bit float. They could have just added 32-bit float and called it a Rode Wireless Go 3 and kept all the same features as the Wireless Go 2, and I would have been a happy camper. Now, for those of you that might not understand what the big deal about 32-bit float is, it gives you an enormous amount of dynamic range when it comes to your audio recordings. It is damn near almost impossible to clip it and be too loud or to be too low. We're talking about a $399 dual mic, one receiver, wireless setup. But for $399, if you think about it, you're getting two 32-bit float recorders that each can record 40 plus hours of 32-bit float audio. Plus you're getting two lavalier 2s from Rode, which is a really great lavalier microphone, and they screw and lock on to the 3.5mm jack that's built into the Rode Wireless Pro. So you're not accidentally gonna have any situations where your lavalier pops out of the recorder and then you're screwed. All right, now we're gonna do a little bit of a distance test. Now Rode says that this is their best connection yet. Let's test it out. I don't know how much distance that is from this camera, but we're just gonna walk until we can't walk no mo's. This is an abandoned building here, so the pavement hasn't been well paved in quite some time. This building is like literally collapsing day by day. By the way, all the audio that you're gonna be hearing from this microphone, the entire video is gonna be straight out of microphone. I'm not gonna EQ it at all. All right, we're about as far back as we could possibly go. Mic check 1, 2. Rode, did you cut out? Do we have transmission? Do we have signal? No matter what wireless microphone I use, if it has a magnetic connection, it always itches my chest if I don't wear some kind of like tank top underneath or something like that, which I am not today. I think I'm allergic to certain types of metals. I definitely am to like fake earrings and jewelry and stuff like that. All right, one of the things that I wanted to test out, it's gonna be a quick test because I'm pretty sure it's gonna work well, is how well these windshields perform in a high windy situation. Break time. All right, we're up to about 18 miles an hour right now. Definitely got some wind blowing, and I'm sure these windshields are gonna do their job. They worked really well on the Wireless Go 2. I'm sure it's probably the same windshield or better. It's not gonna be worse. And we do have the twist and lock system, so you're not gonna lose them unless you're really careless. And the thing that I really like about them is they actually fit inside the case on the transmitter while you can close the case up. You could just leave them on the transmitter if this is how you use your microphone outdoors, and you don't have to worry about ever detaching them. Really the only wireless microphone system that I know of that you could fit the windshield on a transmitter with the case closed. Each of these bad boys have 7 hours of battery life, but like I said, it comes with the new charging case, so you're gonna be good to go unless you're trying to record 8, 9, 10 hours straight audio without stopping. Now, another big feature that the Wireless Pro has is the ability to use time code, which is pretty crazy for a small little wireless microphone system like this. And you can enable or disable time code by plugging your receiver into either your computer or your smartphone. There's a bunch of different modes in there to choose from depending on your shooting situation. You could choose your frame rate, which is extremely important that you get the right frame rate. Remember, if you're shooting in 23.98 and you select 24 frames per second, there's gonna be some slippage there. There's gonna be some drift in your audio somewhere on your timeline, just by that little bit of a drop frame. So you're definitely gonna wanna make sure that you match the right frame rate on your Wireless Pro with your camera settings, or else it's gonna be a little annoying. Now, speaking of plugging in your Wireless Pro and using one of the Rode apps, what's really great is, number one, this is the case. And when I first saw the promo video, I thought the case was really big and bulky. This is my hand. I mean, I have pretty big hands, but this is not, it's This is a good size. It's very small, very compact, and this is my new favorite charging case. And with the USB-C charging port on the back, you can actually, instead of plugging in your receiver, your transmitter, take it off, your transmitter again, take it off, updating everything, you could just plug everything right into the back of this and it'll read all 3 devices plus the charging case in Rode Central, which I think is great. So if you have a firmware update for all the devices, including the charging case, you could update everything right from there with one plug. They give you a separate accessory case that is exactly the same size, and all the accessories fit in here, and then the transmitters and the receivers fit in the charging case. So the audio that you guys have been listening to this whole video so far has been from the transmitter to the receiver into the camera, but I have been recording a backup audio with 32-bit float. Let's switch to that now while we read a little word from today's sponsor, Cinematch by Film Convert. Cinematch has to be by far my most used plugin. I use it all the time. In a situation like this where I'm shooting in S-Log3 on a Sony camera, Cinematch makes it super easy to either convert your files from log to Rec 709 and give it a normal look so you can deliver it how it is, or you could switch your color science up from one camera to another. So let's say you're shooting Sony or Nikon, but you happen to like Canon colors or Arri Alexa or Red or Blackmagic. You can easily select the source profile for the camera that you're shooting with and then select your target profile for the color science that you want to change it over to. You also get a whole bunch of color grading tools built directly into the Cinematch plugin, which makes it super easy to fine-tune all of your adjustments and match those colors up perfectly. Cinematch supports an enormous amount of camera makers and models, so chances are whatever camera you're shooting with, they got you covered. Let's say you're shooting a project and your cameras are a Sony camera, a GoPro, and a DJI drone. All 3 of those cameras are gonna have completely different color sciences. They're gonna render reds differently, render greens a little bit differently, blues. All your colors are gonna look differently because each camera company has their own color science. And when you're shooting a project and including multiple cameras in that project, you want everything to be cohesive and match perfectly. And that's what Cinematch does the best. So even though Canon isn't included in that 3-camera setup, you could easily switch your Sony, GoPro, and DJI drone all over the Canon colors and make everything match perfectly, and your project will look a lot more professional. And like I said, I use this plugin all the time. Even if I'm only shooting with one camera, even if I'm only on my Sony camera for an entire project, I'm gonna be shooting in S-Log3 and I'm still gonna use Cinematch to convert my S-Log3 footage over to Rec 709 and then probably over to a different color science. Cinematch is available for Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, and Adobe Premiere Pro, so pretty much no matter which platform you're editing on, Cinematch is going to be able to take care of you. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to start your free trial now. And if you use the promo code LAPANI when you check out, you're going to get 10% off of Cinematch, which is a great deal. By far my most used plugin for DaVinci Resolve. I use it damn near every single video. Thank you, Cinematch, for making a great plugin, and thank you for sponsoring today's video. And that was 32-bit float onboard recording. How did it sound? Now, I'll be honest, once I knew I was receiving the Wireless Pro and I found out about all the features a little while back, I was like, oof, I think it's time for me to sell all my other wireless microphones, and I have a lot. And I was getting ready to sell all of them. I'm like, I don't need anything else. 32-bit float, coming from Rode. I know it's gonna be reliable. I know the sound quality is gonna be great. What else do I need? But then I picked up the Osmo Action 4 and I'm like, ugh. The way that DJI mic connects to the Osmo Action 4 on the side with no cables is really a great setup. So I'm gonna keep the DJI mics strictly for the Osmo Action 4 because this is most likely gonna be my new outdoor on-the-go vlogging camera. It's really just the case and the way that you could store your iOS and USB-C adapters in the case and the way that they connect to the DJI mics and then the way the DJI mic can connect to your Action 4. That's really the main reason why I chose the Action 4 over the GoPro. Besides that, I would have to say every category is gonna pretty much go to the Rode Wireless Pro. And that goes for any wireless microphone on the market right now. Another new feature that Rode has in the Wireless Pro, which was first introduced in the Wireless Me, is called Intelligent Gain Assist.
This means that the audio levels going into your camera will be perfectly balanced, significantly minimizing the risk of clipping.
Now, something else that's pretty cool is the receiver itself has a 3.5mm jack, which obviously you plug into your camera input, but you could also use it as a microphone input and technically turn your receiver into a third microphone when you're using something like the Rode, what's the name of it? The Rode NTH100M, which is kind of like a gamer headset or something you could plug into your computer and use it that way. And it has a little built-in microphone here. Now you can only use this when you're connected with the USB-C port on the receiver, and my camera doesn't have USB-C audio coming from the receiver into the camera. You have to go through the microphone jack. So can't really show you that right now. I guess I could if I busted out my smartphone, but let's just believe them that it works. Now, something else that I think is pretty cool is a feature that we got a lot with Rode using their shotgun microphones. You have an auto on-off feature with the receiver, so when you turn your camera off, the receiver won't stay on and waste battery. It'll turn off because it knows that your camera's off. Now, a lot of people didn't really care for, including myself, having to plug your microphone into the computer and then accessing the Rode Central app in order to export your audio files that you recorded directly to your transmitter. So now you could just plug it into your computer and your computer will read it as a drive. You could double click on it and drag the audio file straight off of there. No need for the Rode Central app just to get access to your recording. So I think that's great. Now, Rode did send me over the Wireless Pro for free for me to check out, but this is my honest opinion. And you guys know if I didn't like something, I'll tell you guys. I have no problem saying the product is bad or not so great or so-so. If I really feel it, this is my new go-to wireless microphone system. I have a ton of different sets upstairs. I'm probably gonna be selling the majority of them. And like I said, just holding on to the DJI mics just for the Osmo Action 4, just to have that cableless setup. Besides that, it's always gonna be the Rode Wireless Pro moving forward until something better comes along. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe if you are not already. Click that little notification bell. Drop a comment down below. What do you guys think about the Rode Wireless Pro? To me, it's an incredible value at $399 for what you're getting out of the system. It's mind-blowing, seriously. Thank you, Cinematch, for sponsoring today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys next time. Yeah!